Welcome back, welcome back. Yeah, I just thought of something, and it led to me thinking about things. So let me, without further ado.
In March, news a Singapore court had sentenced an 18-year-old American to 6 strokes with a bamboo cane swept round the world.
Remember that? If you wasn't born in the 80s and the 90s, you might have not remember this, and even if you were, you might have forgot about this. But I didn't forget about this because it was a cultural shock, and it taught me about respect.
In March, news a Singapore court had sentenced an 18-year-old American to 6 strokes with a bamboo cane swept round the world.
That's the first I've heard of it. I'll look into it.
And Michael Fay, who insists he was tortured into confessing that he spray-painted cars, was instantly caught in the middle of a raging debate.
Yes, says one. People should be responsible for their actions. Let the vandal take his beating, says another.
If anybody just put themselves in this position, I don't think anybody would want their kid or someone close to them to be beaten with a cane.
After President Clinton personally appealed for legal...
I mean, this is a Christian country, so you kind of, you hold that book up, and the book says, if you spare the rod, you spoil the child. So, your faith says, give him the cane.
Singapore reduced the sentence from 6 lashes to 4.
See?
But that wasn't much consolation for Michael Fay.
I was bent over halfway. I mean, my back was bent in a 90 degree, and I was cuffed, buckled like this. And he's whipping it as he's going on each step. And
you hear the whip?
Yes, I can.
Hell yeah!
And on the third step, he strikes. And he cuts open your buttocks. And there's a lot of pain. There's a lot of pain.
Throughout the incident, Singapore insisted its strict laws made it one of the safest nations on earth.
I wonder why it's one of the safest nations on earth. So, before that jumped into my mind, I was thinking to myself about the world. Because a lot of, controversial videos are starting to pop up on my algorithm. And that last video with the Latinos and hip-hop and whatever the fuck, like people being ops, it's not just them. In that video, the man Lily describes, because that wasn't just the short that I showed, that was a 3-hour video. This man went on to talk about many, many different artists that we all know and we all love, and we don't realize they're not black people. They're not black Americans. They look black, but they're not. They're Jamaican. They're African. They're not born here. They didn't go through slavery. They don't have slave blood. This is what the fuck they're not like us means. Just because you can look like me, just because we let you in the group, just because you can say, oh, I was here, I'm Busta Rhymes, and you're not black, bro. You're Jamaican. Everybody's got to stop trying to claim they're us. Because we're awake now, and we're going to, use all this evidence to prove you're a liar. And we're also going to prove that you've been sabotaging our shit from the very beginning. That's the only reason half of yous are even in hip-hop. Because you're a plant. And we see yous now. And unfortunately for you plants, they make you take your little rituals and your fucking get down schemes, and so all of yous are getting exposed little by little, and it's real funny. Yous are all gonna have to deal with being embarrassed as men, because a lot of y'all secrets is coming out. See, we can't get rid of you the regular way. We can't just tell people and show them with your lyrics, your actions, and all the shit you have done all this time. We can't just wake people up to that. No! We have to reveal the homo shit you do. We have to reveal how you've been fucking chasing little girls around your entire careers, but you're grown-ass men. Anyway, back to the theory, because I want to talk about a world theory that's actually not good for America, and I hope people are paying attention. That be paying attention to everything, because it's not like we don't know you're listening. Now, I ain't got no beef with you people, and I'm sure you're just smarter than me. So, you probably already, think of things like this. I'm just a black guy that, pays attention to shit. So I don't know anything. It's all guessy. Now, as I realized, by watching the world with little simple things, little news reports, and little things that I don't put on my channel because people aren't interested in what's really going on in the world, like big things, and those things don't really matter because if you're not it won't mean nothing. It'll just be speculation and probably scare the shit out of people, like what I'm probably going to do right now. But that's why I say this is a theory. It's not nothing I believe is nowhere near true, or I can prove anything to be true. But what I can prove to be true is things are really weird in the world. And America is very vulnerable right now. And unfortunately, I gotta live here. So whatever these people do, unfortunately, the people got to deal with it. Now, for a while now, I've been noticing, like these sanctions in Africa have been going on. They've been sanctioning the U.S. dollar. And I'm not even really sure what all that shit means. Something like, I guess they're not going to use it no more, which would, fuck our money up. And then, they're like siding or doing business with, I believe, Russia, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken. It's either Russia or China. I think it's China, though. I think China's been trading with Africa and doing business with them. And that was like a couple of years ago they started getting buddy. And now we got African nations sanctioning the U.S. dollar in the worst fucking time it can be, playing with our money and shit. So, that's not good. Like, we all know, China has been creating the greatest knockoff stuff in the world. Meaning, since they can't originally make things because, other people have already made them and all of that stuff, it's been known in America for fucking ever, like when you look at the label of everything, it's made in China. Now, before that, in the 90s, everything knockoff was made there. You wanted a fresh pair of fucking Jordans, you go to the fucking Chinatown. You wanted the fake ass knockoff Louis Vuitton bag. You wanna look rich, but spend poor people's prices. Just buy off China. It's going to be made good. It may not be made with the greatest quality, but you will be able to stunt. Now that put a damper on, Americans that actually, and European countries that were making these fans, and that's, you're taking money out of their pocket. Get it? Period. Because I'm black, and if I can get the same thing for cheaper, I don't give a fuck that it's a knockoff. Corny ass rich people and people that think a name brand thing is so special because it has a name on it, but it was made in a sweat factory full of niggas on the other side of the world. Get it? That's how fucking dumb people are. I take the knockoff version that was made by adults, not, slave children and stuff, I'd rather take that stuff. It's knockoff, but, at least I get to sleep good at night. Anyway, so, as my brain has been racking up all these, things that's been going on through the years, and I'm watching people team up and shit, and it's not looking good for us, because there's things called superpowers. Not superpower, superpowers. And, the world, the countries, they're superpowers. And, I kind of know like a little bit of history. I'm not a like super history buff, but I remember when America wasn't a superpower. Wasn't born back then, but, I remember reading about things like that. And also, it always baffled me, how a new guy can come on the block, the new kid, whatever, and then you become a superpower. Now that's it's nothing new because each superpower had to grow eventually. But the way we became a superpower was like a fucking overnight thing. It's never happened like that before. And as I was younger, I would always be like, like, that's weird. How the fuck did we do that? Because, it's like getting an oak tree in 5 years. Oak trees take hundreds of years to grow. So, there's no cheating that. But we're an oak tree now. And, then I grew up, started learning more things, little by little, hearing about, bad things, conspiracy things that may and may not be true. You can't put your finger on them. But what I do know is the people that they told me, don't even like each other. And all these weirdo things like China and Africa and Russia and China and, like all the superpowers we're all beefing against. Not beefing, but, the Cold War thing. Everybody wants to be the number one kid on the block now. And I think, like, the whole world's been, like, waiting for WW3 to pop off because, when you play Monopoly long enough, the stalemate happens. And those 1 or 2 or 3 people are left. And everyone else is gone, right? Everyone else pays rent now. And those 3 motherfuckers don't want to give up certain properties, right? And usually the only way the game ends is 2 of you have to team up and agree on things. And then the plan's already set. We're gonna agree to get rid of him. You're not my friend. When we get rid of him, your ass is mine. Best man wins. See, that's how Monopoly always usually ends. The real long one, the long game. It's always the superpowers left with all the property. And there's always that one guy that, he's good, but he's like, he doesn't have all the greatest properties. He's really living off hotels and fucking, And then the other guys, they got the good shit. That's usually the reason they're going to team up on that guy. Because, you're easier to get rid of. Your infrastructure's not as strong. And that scares the shit out of me because, that kind of like reminds me of us now. Our infrastructure is not strong. And I don't know who's who anymore. There's so many people here of all nations that, to me, as long as we're all fighting for the same thing, I guess is a good thing, but I don't know anymore. I really don't know. So anyway, as I, now years later, watching certain things like, Russia admitting that Jesus is a black man and that they're going to pray to him. That shocked my fucking... Because it made me wrong. The Lord made me wrong. That's why I love my Father. He always proves me wrong. I said there's no way I'd see the day where any of you will admit that truth and then say, I'm gonna worship him. I'm gonna ask that black man to save my soul. And I got to see it, so, you know, I'm like, my father's moving fast. And that's a good thing, but that's a bad thing, because the end of the story doesn't end so good. Not until the end. So that's what most people don't tell each other. We lie to each other about the fucking, how real it really is. Or they just don't know, you know? Some people just, they were taught the Bible. They never read it themselves. They never studied themselves. So in their minds, when the bad shit happens, they're gonna magically disappear. Like, you know, like Elijah did. You know, the guy from the Bible that the Lord said, I'm gonna rapture you away because they want to kill you. And you're too good. They're not worthy of touching you. You're not gonna die. You're coming upstairs now. You know? Everybody believes upon the Jesus. And that always baffled my mind. Like, why does everybody love that guy so much? When another man, the Lord loved him so much he didn't let you filth bags touch him. He said, no, you're getting a rapture. Now! You're not going to have to wait. And now we live in a world where everybody thinks they're Elijah. And they deserve to get raptured. But they didn't do anything. They don't even know who the children of Israel really are. You don't fight to free them, but you think you're getting raptured away? Isn't that a fucking coincidence? Right? You don't do none of the work, but you get what the greatest get. The greats, the ones that put in work. Yeah, that seems fair. So, you know, that thing baffles me. Because, you know, I don't know if any of this is true. I could be another person that, you know, been reading things wrong, seen multiple videos of people breaking it down for hours, you know. All of us could be wrong. And all the people that made videos saying they're right could be right. But then there's the book. Anyway, so as I've been seeing these things, I've been thinking to myself, like, if China superpower, Goku, you know Goku's? If Goku teams up with fucking Kunta Kinte and them, and Kunta Kinte and them are joining up with fucking Thor, the Viking god, the Russian bear, then that's 3 superpowers. All nations of people that are not known to be pussy. You know, they've been through rough times for a long time. Some of these people within the last couple 100 years have just joined this concrete circuitry, you know, stuff, you know. They just became superpowers. They caught up to the people that were meant to not be a superpower over them. You remember? We're the last. We're the new country. But we surpassed them. You know? And I keep seeing these meetings get taken around the world about how they don't like the way we're running things. And they've been warning and saying it for years. Like, the tricks you play is not cool. And I don't know what they can do, like that sanction thing. I mean, I guess that is something, like playing around with the whatever, because that eventually messes up money and shit. And, you know, I understand a little bit of that stuff. But what I do realize is that just is like dividing. That's a big divide. That's the whole world divided basically now. You know, there's no other countries, there's no other peoples, there's no other nothing. And everyone is Everyone works for someone. Everyone's siding. And to me, that's a scary thing. Because, you know, people don't usually join forces unless, you know, you need to. I hope I'm wrong about this one. Shit. I know I'm not. Maybe wrong about the players. The game's always been the same. And I don't know anymore, man. I'm like, this shit is crazy. Because with America being so divided into people and men being treated the way they are, and then all the ones that are raised in, like, we are not ready for no shit like that, bro. This is not 200 years ago. And I believe we could stand a chance with certain things, you know. American, still strong. Even if you're a nerd, you're still, you know, still a man at the end of the day. And usually what makes us win wars is not fucking alpha male strategies. Nah, niggas win because they're smart. Leverage and, you know, coming up with awesome weapons and shit. But those days are, you know, everyone else has that weapon now. You can't threaten niggas that got the same thing. You know? And then when I learned about Russia and their dead man switch, did you know that when we made that the nuke or whatever, Russia was so afraid because they didn't make it yet, that when they started to make them, you know, our technology is still better than theirs, you know? So what they did is they made a dead man switch, meaning that if we were to shoot at them, right, and we were to kill their head, because, you know, that's how you know, the body falls. You take out the intelligent people first. And they made it where if they don't report to the machine, and wait, first, if once it hits the ground, the vibration will turn the machine on automatically. And if there's nobody there to tell the machine not to turn off, then the machine will launch 30,000 nuclear devices. I said, yo, that's fucking smart, bro. I said, that's what I call, listen, dog, you can't win. If I lose, we all gonna lose. We gonna negotiate, dog. Don't care how much extra power, and I could shoot through the sun, I could fucking teleport, I could if you take me out, you're coming with me. And I said, yo, that's crazy, bro. Them dudes they bout that life, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the type of shit that makes me a little different than most people. You know, when you learn about things like this, you start looking at regular life different, you know? Start taking strategies like that. I mean, I can't make no dead man switch, but you know, it's the same thing what I did with GMB TV. When I was being attacked at my job, when my neighbors and everybody started doing their shit, that's why I made GMB TV. It was the dead man switch. If I disappear, I have all these fucking videos saying people are trying to do things to me. Here's video footage of this person's face. Here's this, here's that, here's that. So when I get hurt, and some mysterious, and what happened? Everybody started cooling the fuck down, right? Niggas stopped trying to get me fired. Dudes stopped sending niggas to my job. Cause I caught their ass on camera and predicted it the day before over and over. Like, yeah, it's about time they send another nigga. Dead man switch. Can they do anything? Yes. I'm sure I got haters that are not. I'm sure we're past those haters now. We've been online and spewing this righteousness. I'm sure there's plenty of Satanists out there. I'm sure there's probably a homosexual man or a transgender that thinks that I hate them because I love God, when in all reality, I have no beef with nobody. I don't give a... All y'all beef is up with my Father. I'm just here to give the messages. I sin just like you. My Father hates me just like he hates you. So, you know, you hating me because I got to give these messages and go through the sin that I go through. And, you know, that's why I tell people, you could be mad at me. You can send your fucking hocus pocus, your bad juju, or whatever the fuck it is that people do. And you're going to get what you're going to get, because you're not fighting me. You're not really mad at me. You're mad at the truth. You're mad at my Father. You know? It's just the way it is. Shit, I be mad at my Father. I don't turn my back on him, though. You know why? Because although he's the one that punishes me, he's the one that saves me. So, you know, how you stay mad at someone that's punishing you because you won't listen? You know? It took me a long time to balance it out with the Lord and really come to terms with not being perfect like him and actually wanting to receive forgiveness, you know, to want to change. When I realized the Bible says things are going to happen, but he tells us what's going to happen. And we have that thing called free will. So it's always been a theory of mine of things didn't have to be this way. But then again, some people, we don't look at all people the same. We look at everybody like ourselves, like, oh, I'll stop eventually. You know, if I knew God was real, I would stop doing this, and I may not stop doing everything all at once, but I would stop being really stupid wicked, you know? There are people that know he's real. They fucking hate him. Sound the horns. See, this is what people don't get. There are people that know what the real reality is, and they know they're never going to get forgiven because they went too far already. They started things that can never be stopped. They died before they could even start. Get it? It's called a chain of events. And everyone has them. Everything you do sets off a chain of events. You know? Whoever you teach something, whoever makes something up, that sets off a chain of events of people using that thing or whatever it is. So when you invent something or you whatever it is, and you're the founder, everything that bad happens is on your ass. See, a lot of people made a lot of ideologies and they found out they were wrong. And they passed away though, you know? And other people believed what they said so much that they lived the lifestyle. Take Tupac for an example. If he wasn't bad, you know, more people need to defend him. Like I was watching that Tupac's Hoax channel, and I always want to give all of the people I put on a chopping block benefit of the doubt, you know. I never want to be the guy to just say, oh, everyone up there is a traitor and all this. And no, some people actually have talent. Some people get up there and, you know, they get popped. You know, some people will get destroyed. But a lot of them won't. Why? Because if you're a real person and when they make you that offer, you're not going to take it and your career's over. You're going to disappear. That's it. A lot of people have that fucking story where they were 1 minute they were on top of the world. Everybody thought they were the new thing. They got a nice album out, you know, there was a star, and then they started getting a little bit bigger, and then boom, they're out of there. Little by little, you know, like the Erica Badu's and the Lauryn Hills. I say Lauryn Hill more than Erica Badu because she's allowed to still be around and do some type of music, but like a Lauryn Hill, you know. Certain people that made good music and would not make this ratchet shit we know now. Even if they were bad, you know, not teaching us God. At least it wasn't teaching us the booty shaking shit. And, you know, degrade your fucking self in every way, you know. Anyway, I hope these multiple things open up people's eyes to one, respect. That's why I played the beginning video. So that more Americans understand you cannot go to other countries. It's always been like this. So when we start seeing other people get these treatments, don't do the old hoorah, because just like when that white boy went over there and thought he's just gonna graffiti shit or whatever, there's nothing that they can do for you once your ass is over there. Over there is not America. They got rules and laws. So, you know, passport bros and other men that want to, you know, explore the world, have fun, but don't treat it like America. Then, the second half of the video of me talking about certain things and the countries getting together, you know, I don't know what's going on. Maybe people are just doing business, and but like these sanctions and stuff, it's not good for America, you know. I hope everything can be resolved peacefully, but I don't know, man. Seems like a lot of people don't like the things that have been done or the things that are going on, and if we don't shape it up, if we don't learn to play nice or work out some deal, if the rest of the world starts only fucking with each other, well, it's gonna be real hard to live in America soon. Because as much as we think we're super cool and we never win, everybody needs other people. And the old ways of doing things, the bully tactics and all of that, like, you could do that to black Americans. The rest of the world is only going to take that shit for so long, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. Hope this ain't ruffle too many feathers. The overall point to this is just a man talking that can't prove anything. Nor don't want to prove anything. It's just thoughts. But what I do know is people need to be ready for whatever. Because it seems like a lot of weird things keep happening. And we're all here together. And if some crazy starts happening, some stuff happens, you know? Just like 9/11. The day before 9/11, I was just a nigger. The day of 9/11, and after that for like 8 months, I could walk up to any white, any Spanish, anyone in the world, and I could just hold my hands out and get a hug. Talk about 9/11, we'll cry together. We'll talk about, we gotta defend our country and all this shit. Couple of fucking years after that, I'm fucking back to being a nigger again. And everybody's afraid of me again. Remember when everybody's afraid of the Arabs? Everybody's beating the ones up that already lived here for mad long, which is fucked up. Niggas already been living in your corner store, your neighborhood for years. Y'all beating them niggas up. That was crazy. But, you know, when you have an actual boogeyman, everyone stops looking at the black guy as the boogeyman. And you know what you do? You say, help me, black man, help me. Would you stand with us? I don't know if we're going to stand with you this time. As much as it's been going on, y'all worrying about getting our votes. We ain't even voting no more. And the more and more y'all do, if something happens, you know, you can mandatory whatever you want. I don't think my people gonna go down. We ain't gonna go fight for that shit no more. We have nothing to fight for. Because we have nothing to gain. We've already fought in 2 world wars, and we're where we're at now. So what the fuck will we go help you fight another war for? Why wouldn't we just sit back and say, whoever the fuck's gonna be our rulers are gonna be our rulers. We're not gonna rule over ourselves, so I don't give a fuck. Maybe they'll treat me better. You know? Yous are so worried about us going to help the enemy that yous are not counting on us just saying, fuck it, I don't give a fuck about helping nobody no more. I'm gonna go over there to those mountains like my Lord told me to, and yous can duke it out, and whoever the fuck wins will come back down and say, hey, where do we start building? Where's the new capital? We'll build it for you. Just don't be racist. You know what I mean? Like, it's coming to that. It didn't have to be that way, though. You know, like I said about that choice thing, y'all could have, you know, stopped doing what y'all do to us, putting people above us when we already been here this whole time. I actually go through it with programs that actually will help us stop stealing music and all this other stuff. Like, stop pretending like we don't know. Because I know I'm too old. I'm 42, so I can't go to war. You know, I'm all old. I got the fucking I'm not fighting nobody in me. You know, my religious beliefs and stuff. Like, everybody's gonna, like, you know, everybody has their reason to fight, maybe not to fight. Me personally, I don't care what nobody does. I'm not voting for people not to go. I'm not telling people to stay. Because, you know, when shit hits the fan, everybody can say they're not going to do whatever. But, you know, who says they want to be my master? They may want me to go down with you. I think that's another reason why I want to flee away like my Lord told me to. You know? When I look back at history, it seems like nobody likes us. Nobody wants to play fair with us. No matter how much we invent, no matter how much we build, we always get put under the boot. Which is weird because, you know, we serve willingly. You know, like all the other people, except we innovate. We make things fun. Like, I was just watching this guy's thing, and it was a little uncomfortable with some of the things he was saying about the immigrants coming. But then I started thinking about actually what he was saying about how we get treated like shit by all these people. And there's so many inventions and civil rights and all these things that these people wouldn't even be able to, you wouldn't even be here if we didn't fight for what you're using and then pushing us down with. We got all these people joining all of our things because they look like us, and then years later they're telling us black people have no culture. Shout out Busta Rhymes. I appreciated that. I appreciated you lying and saying hip hop was created off Jamaicans and Latinos. We copying you. Like, we can't just go back to where you're from and just, stand outside and say, I wonder what they're going to be playing right now. I wonder what they're going to be dancing like. I wonder what they're dressed like. I wonder what... It's ridiculous. And then the fact that, most people that are originally from these places, they have stereotypes like, we don't fuck with the American versions of us. You know? Like the Spanish thing. I've never been to Puerto Rico, never been down in Spanish colonies or whatever. But I even know, because I talked to Spanish people my whole life and lived around them. Even they've told me, like, yo, I'm Spanish American. When I go down there, though, to my original, it's like I'm not even a part of them. They make fun of us. They call us gringos. Because I don't speak Spanish. I only speak American. I was born up there, so, And I say, yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. A people that are one are really two. And then when you go to that country, there are dark-skinned Afro of those people, and then they get treated like black and whites. The light-skinned Latinos treat the dark-skinned Latinos like white people treat black people. It's just all these things. And like I said, when other people that don't like you come around because of your disunity and they want to bully you, everybody wants to get real fucking appropriate then. Everybody wants to say, we're all one. Hurrah! But like we just forgot about 10 minutes ago, we weren't all one, and you got all the privileges. You get it? The games that are being played for so long is just devastating to all of us. The entire humanity. I really hope one day we can really put down these petty, these whatever it is that we're fucking really fighting. Because Lord knows, common people don't even know what we're fighting for anymore. I don't know what you people in the real world, the ups. I wish you would just be honest with us. Like the days of the old. All of these illusions and names and all this stupid shit. It's like it's like two worlds. We all know it's the world that really is, and then the world that everyone says it is. And it's like everyone knows the world that we say it is. We all know that's the fake world. Everyone knows it. Everyone fucking knows. It's amazing, really, when you think about it. Anyway, I hope they let this one out. It's just thoughts. Like I say, fair use. I don't got no concrete evidence, and I ain't trying to say none of this is real. I'm just saying things that, different points in history and, little things that I see could be true. And I think we all need to be happy for the days we have of these. What we have. It ain't the best, but, it ain't the worst. Enjoy these good times while they last, people.